All right.
USYR TV Syracuse, the local station. You're watching the morning news.
Good morning and welcome in. It is 5 o'clock on a Monday, March 16th. You got Ryan and Rachel with you today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, we are glad that you are here, and maybe your trash can is not here, though.
Yeah.
You might want to check on that if it's trash day this morning. It was one of those things, Kate, where your house is making all sorts of noise overnight because you can hear the creaks and the cracks and all that wind.
Everything.
Yes.
Thoughts and prayers to anyone's fences that are maybe hanging on by a thread. Mine is one of them. You're waking up this morning. It is quite mild outside. We have 50s. We have a warm front that's pushing through right now. 40s from Cortland to Norwich and Rome. But the wind, that has really been an issue for us. We still have wind advisories this morning. We've been gusting right around 20 up to 30 miles per hour, 51 mile per hour wind gusts right now over in Watertown. And so very blustery. We even have a couple thunderstorms going on out over Lake Ontario that just formed within the last few minutes. You may be able to see them. Maybe you can hear them if you were in Oswego. We are expecting more thunderstorms this afternoon. We have a cold front coming through, so we're watching out for a line of some very heavy rainfall, creating some very gusty winds. We have to keep a very close eye on this. The timing between 3 and 8 o'clock this evening. We could see upwards of 1 to 2 inches of rainfall in a short amount of time, causing some isolated flash flooding. We're now 100% ruling out those gusty, damaging winds as well. So you want to be prepared, have everything, keep in mind, because this is happening right during that evening commute ride home. And then for tonight, we change over to winter as we have colder air returning and some snow. We're going to have more on that with your Timecast coming up.
All right, we're not the only ones feeling wind whipped this morning. Weather extremes across the country, from record heat to blizzard conditions to possible tornadoes.
Yeah, severe weather impacting nearly every part of the country this morning. Winds picking up at the airport. You're looking at Syracuse Hancock right now. Weather even causing some cancellations here at home. Flights leaving for Dallas, Chicago, and New York City have all been canceled. If you are flying out this morning, make sure you are closely monitoring your flight status. ABC's Sophie Flay picking up our coverage now.
This morning, a powerful winter storm slamming the Midwest before heading east, causing travel trouble for millions. Up to 30 inches of snow expected in parts of Wisconsin.
We haven't had a snowstorm like this in some years.
Blizzard conditions and near zero visibility prompting officials in Minnesota to close several highways. At least 190 crashes reported on Saturday alone. Severe weather blamed for more than 3,000 flight cancellations Sunday. More are expected today as the storm pushes east, bringing a threat of damaging wind, hail, and possible tornadoes from Florida to New York. In Washington, votes postponed in Congress due to flight delays, while many federal workers are being allowed to work from home. The disruption comes amid the spring break travel rush and as TSA agents work without pay during the partial government shutdown, calling out sick in record numbers. Atlanta's airport was forced to close one of its 4 security checkpoints. Other hubs like Newark report longer than usual wait times. Lines at the airport in Austin, Texas are once again expected to stretch outside the terminal today.
Unfortunately, this is going to turn into a security risk if we're not staffed properly.
Travelers are being told to get to the airport 3 hours before their flight. Other weather extremes include a rare March heat wave on the West Coast and flooding in Hawaii. Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
And it is always a good idea to have that Storm Team app on your phone so you can always be weather ready. Scan that QR code right now on your screen or search WSYR in the App Store or Google Play. Remember, it is free.
Staying at the airport, a new project is going to impact parking and getting in and out of the airport.
Now, Storm Team meteorologist Kate Thornton with Central New York's most accurate forecast.
And a very good Monday morning to you. Live you right now from our tower cam. It looks quiet looking out, but then you step outside and you can feel the warmth, but also you can really feel the wind. We've had some very gusty winds overnight, and it continues this morning. The wind advisories remain in effect until later this morning, but we'll still have wind gusts anywhere from 20 to 30 plus miles per hour. Even more so when we eventually get some thunderstorms moving through here later on today. High temperatures is one of those days where we get all 4 seasons in 24 hours, and our temperatures are rising through the 60s today. It's going to be the last day we'll have temperatures this warm, at least for a week or more. It's going to be wild, and our temperatures They go up and then they come right back down. Our cold front comes through right around 5, 6 o'clock tonight, and our temperatures are dropping below freezing very quickly tonight. We change over from the rain to the snow, and a lot of us may have to do a little shoveling tomorrow morning. So on the radar, we've had some rain showers moving through and even some thunderstorms starting to form already in parts of Oswego County. This is with our warm front that is lifting north. It is bringing that warmer air our way. This is what we have to watch moving through later today. It has a lot of fuel to work with. It's going to have a lot of moisture and just a lot of instability in the atmosphere, which is why we've been upgraded to a slight risk, or a level 2 out of 5, for the chance at severe weather. The biggest factors here we're looking at are the gusty winds and the very heavy rainfall. Probably not much of any hail, but we are now 100% ruling out an isolated tornado. Your chances do go up, though, the farther south you go, closer towards the southern tier and into western New York. And so we're going to be watching things very, very carefully for you. So what do you need to know heading out the door? Well, for one, you don't need your winter coat today unless you're going to be out later on tonight. But you can get away with that spring coat. Have something waterproof as well, because you may get caught in one of these showers. Temperatures are rising very quickly through the 60s. Once we get to 3 o'clock this afternoon, then it's game on for rain, thunderstorms, heavy downpours. Okay, very, very typical springtime heavy rain. Some pumps are working on overdrive today. A lot of ponding, small streams and creeks could be going over their banks and flooding for you. So we need to be very careful about that. Remember, turn around, don't drown. If you see a flooded roadway, don't drive through it, because you don't know how the road is underneath it. Very heavy rain moving through here. When you have these storms, very gusty winds. The ground is so saturated and it's been very windy, so it may not take much to bring some tree limbs and whatnot down. Look how we change over from the rain to the snow very quickly. This is some wet, slushy snow that's moving in overnight through tomorrow morning. We wake up tomorrow morning much colder in the 20s. We have some decent lake effect happening right in the heart of the Tug Hill, and then impacting most of central Oswego County, right over at Lewis and Oneida County borders throughout the day tomorrow. Meanwhile, the rest of us are very cold and windy throughout the day. We're looking at about 1 to 2 inches of rainfall here, so some very heavy rain. There's going to be a lot of backyards. There's going to be very much underwater. And then our snowfall forecast, about an inch or 2 for most of us. You go up in elevation, though, upwards of 4 to 8 inches of snowfall by tomorrow morning. We're going to keep it very cold. That leprechaun's going to do a jig to stay warm tomorrow, with highs only in the 20s. Wind chills, single digits at times. Snow showers Wednesday morning. A bit of a mix happening on Thursday. Pretty quiet on Friday for the first day of spring. Then we're looking at a mixed bag happening this weekend, with highs in the low 40s.
Thank you, Kate. More local news coming up.
Bear encounter in an LA neighborhood. Neighbors say bears are not uncommon in the Foothill community, where residents frequently walk dogs, bike, and hike. Reporter Aaron Myers says this is the second time a bear has shown up on live TV with her.
Well, she handled that beautifully.
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right, I'm going to toss it back to you. I'm going to get in the car now.
The bear's got like that red light instinct. Like, as soon as it sees the red light in the camera, it knows to show up and say, all right, here you go. Here's your prop for
Hollywood, baby. It's looking for its opportunity.
Yeah.
It's like, I see my chance.
Get that bear some representation. All right.
He's in the right area.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Hey, welcome in. You have Ryan, Rachel, and Kate here. It is March 16th, and we are feeling all 4 seasons in one day, kind of.
It's one of those kind of days.
Wild,
yeah. Spring, March, we'll do that. You know,
Sure
we like to have some stuff where we get our own little March Madness. You
Yeah.
know, us in the weather office, we like to get a little bit in some of the bracketology here.
You want winter,
meteorology,
you want
bracketology.
spring, you want some fall, here's some summer.
Exactly.
I won't bet on this one.
We even have storms happening right now.
Yeah, it's a gamble.
Some of you have Mother Nature's alarm clock, but it has been windy. Maybe that's what's been keeping you up all night. We have wind gusts over 20 miles per hour. It's been starting to come down a little bit, but we still have 51-mile-per-hour gusts up in Watertown right now. Warmer air is rushing in. We've been in the 50s overnight, or 40s, depending on where you are, but we've had some thunderstorms just north of Rome over near Western. Heavy downpours, lightning strikes going on, even even in parts of Oswego County and out over the lake. Heavy rainfall moving right on the edges of Jefferson County over near the lake shore. We are at risk for more severe weather, though, later on today. Strong to severe storms forecast to move through here during the evening commute time. This could give us some very heavy downpours, could cause some flash flooding, gusty damaging winds, maybe some hail, but we're also not ruling out an isolated tornado. So you want to be very, very careful about that. Temperatures in the 60s this afternoon, and then down they go. We drop below freezing by midnight tonight.
So we'll begin this morning with the lights on in our...
Now, Storm Team meteorologist Kate Thornton with Central New York's most accurate forecast.
Good morning. Happy Monday. Live view right now from the Cavvy Skynet 9 camera looking out over downtown Syracuse. 52 degrees as we are up and at 'em. It's very windy. We still have wind gusts well over 20 miles per hour. Some of you even higher than that. This wind is not going to settle down a whole lot for the rest of the day. In fact, during the evening commute time, that is when we have the risk of thunderstorms. We could have even higher wind gusts within any of these storms. High temperatures today, though, are well into the 60s. We have a warm front moving through right now, which is why we have some rain. We've even had some thunderstorms happening. We have some cluster of storms happening right near western, north of Rome, some heavier downpours, lightning going on, and moving up 81 through Oswego into Jefferson County with some lightning happening out over the lake shore. So that's our warm front that is bringing in some very, very mild air. We'll catch a break this afternoon where we'll get some sunshine. It's warm, it's windy, and then the second half of our day, we're watching for this cold front right here. That's going to bring in some much colder air for tonight into tomorrow, but it's also going to bring the risk of these thunderstorms. Between 3 and 8 o'clock tonight, we're watching for very heavy rainfall, gusty winds, most likely not any hail happening, but an isolated tornado cannot be 100% ruled out. And so it's very typical springtime weather that we're having here when you have cold fronts like this moving through. So it's something just to be paying attention to this evening, and just know what to do if your phone starts blowing up with any warnings. So there's a flash flood warning, a severe thunderstorm warning, or if there happens to be a tornado warning. You know that you don't drive through flooded roadways. If you hear thunder, you go indoors. If a tornado warning were to be issued, again, the likelihood of that happening is very low, but it's not zero. Remember, you go to your safe space, which is your basement or the lowest level of your home in the most interior room of your home as well. Because look at our timecast, it's suggesting some pretty nasty stuff moving through here around 3, 4, 5 o'clock this evening with some very heavy downpours, those gusty winds. This is going to slowly push east, and when that happens, we'll start to get colder and colder, and then we make that transition from the rain over to snow. So I've been teasing, we're getting like all 4 seasons here in 24 hours because we are going to get in on some wet, slushy, accumulating snow overnight through tomorrow morning, and some of us may have to do some shoveling tomorrow. Now, our temperatures are also much colder tomorrow. We're in the 20s, and wind chills are going to be in the single digits for tomorrow, with our lake effect snow mostly concentrated right here along 104 into the Tug Hill area. That's where we have winter weather advisories, and that's where we'll find some of the higher snow totals. But rainfall, we're looking at about 1 to 2 inches of rain, if not more in some spots. So this really could cause some typical springtime flooding issues, small streams, creeks. Your sump pumps are going to be working on overdrive here in the next 24 hours. Waking up about 2 to 4 inches of snow, but as much as 4 to 6 up north and south of Syracuse in the higher elevations. That's through tomorrow morning, and those areas where that snow is going to be more persistent tomorrow could see an additional 3 to 6 inches during the day. Snow showers taper off Wednesday morning, a bit of a mix on Thursday. Friday's quiet for the first day of spring, and a bit of a wintry mix for over the weekend.
Certified as Central New York's most accurate.
All right, our warm front is moving through, so we have some rain. We even have some thunderstorms. We've had one cluster kind of happening just moving into Boonville right now. Lots of lightning going on north of Rome. Up and down 81, we've been dealing with some of that rain. Temperatures 60s today, more thunderstorms this evening, and then back to winter. Highs are only in the 20s for St. Patrick's Day tomorrow.
At 5:49, here is your before heading east, causing travel trouble for millions. Up to 30 inches of snow expected in parts of Wisconsin. Blizzard conditions and near zero visibility, prompting officials in Minnesota to close several highways. At least 190 crashes reported on Saturday alone.
This morning, the U.S. and Israel launched
TV Syracuse, the local station. You're watching the morning news.
Very good morning. You were like running for office on that one. Don't brush off brush fires.
Yeah.
You tell them.
I don't know. Sometimes I just get in.
Yeah, I know.
Get into
Oh,
the
Smokey, you don't have a chance. You're going to be the new face of brush fires.
You know, sometimes.
I'm sure there's a volunteer chief watching, be like, we got to hire that Rachel Polanski.
Anytime.
Anytime she's available.
Let me know.
All right, well, we'll stop fanning the flames here. Good morning to you. It is 6:01. March 16th is the date right now, and we are in for a wild day ahead.
Yes. Oh my gosh. If you like spring, if you like fall, if you like winter, or maybe summer, you'll get them all in the next 24 hours.
That's
So,
right.
Kate.
Hey, Kate.
Hey, good morning, everybody. So we'll call this morning fall, okay? So we have temperatures in the 40s and 50s right now. It's certainly milder than it should be this time of year. It's very windy outside. Our gusts are still upwards of 20, 30 plus miles per hour. Watertown has been hovering around 50 mile per hour wind gusts all morning long. Very mild air with that warm front pushing through. And then we'll have a little taste of summer this afternoon. Our temperatures are climbing very quickly. We have some rain moving through right now. We've even already had some storms, some lightning strikes still going on in parts of northern Oneida County. And then moving up towards Jefferson County, some thunderstorms as well between Watertown and up towards Alexandria Bay. So just a heads up, we're dealing with more thunderstorms this afternoon. We have a cold front moving through. And some of these storms could be on that strong to severe side, meaning the likelihood of those gusty damaging winds. We could be looking at potential flash flooding, 1 to 2 or more inches of rainfall today. And unfortunately, we are not 100% ruling out an isolated tornado. So it's always good to kind of brush up on what you need to know. If any warnings get issued, what you do, you go to your safe space for this evening if anything were to happen. And then we go back to winter, because very quickly we drop below freezing. We go from the rain over to the snow, and we could be shoveling by tomorrow morning. That's March for you. We'll have all this for you with the Timecast coming up.
So we're not the only ones feeling wind whipped this morning. Extreme weather across the country, from record heat to blizzard conditions to possible tornadoes.
Yeah, severe weather impacting nearly every part of the country this morning. Winds picking up at the airport this morning. You can see those flags flying there. Weather even causing cancellations here at home. Flights leaving for Dallas, Chicago, New York City, all canceled. Make sure you are watching your flight status closely. ABC's Sophie Flay picking up our coverage.
This morning, a powerful winter storm slamming the Midwest before heading east, causing travel trouble for millions. Up to 30 inches of snow expected in parts of Wisconsin.
We haven't had a snowstorm like this in some years.
Blizzard conditions and near zero visibility prompting officials in Minnesota to close several highways. At least 190 crashes reported on Saturday alone. Severe weather blamed for more than 3,000 flight cancellations Sunday. More are expected today as the storm pushes east, bringing a threat of damaging wind, hail, and possible tornadoes from Florida to New York. In Washington, votes postponed in Congress due to flight delays, while many federal workers are being allowed to work from home. The disruption comes amid the spring break travel rush and as TSA agents work without pay during the partial government shutdown, calling out sick in record numbers. Atlanta's airport was forced to close one of its 4 security checkpoints. Other hubs like Newark report longer than usual wait times. Lines at the airport in Austin, Texas are once again expected to stretch outside the terminal today.
Unfortunately, this is going to turn into a security risk if we're not staffed properly.
Travelers are being told to get to the airport 3 hours before their flight. Other weather extremes include a rare March heat wave on the West Coast and flooding in Hawaii. Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
Thank you, Sophie. It's always a good idea to have that Storm Team app on your phone, as you can always be weather ready. Scan that QR code right now on your screen. Search WSYR in the App Store or Google Play. It is free to download, free to use.
Staying at the airport,
Now, Storm Team meteorologist Kate Thornton with Central New York's most accurate forecast.
And a very good Monday morning. Here's our camera. It is shaking out there with all the wind that we are dealing with this morning from the Cavby Skynet 9 camera. Mostly cloudy, 52 degrees. Very gusty wind out there coming from the southeast at the moment. Warm start to our day. Our wind gusts are still with us. It's not really settling down until we get to later on this evening. But that's also when we are expected to have some thunderstorms. Before all that happens, though, our temperatures, we're in the 50s now. We're climbing up to the 60s for those highs today. So we're feeling pretty mild. We'll have a window in the mid-afternoon where it's dry. We'll even get some sunshine where you can enjoy the warmer weather. We have a warm front moving through. We've had some thunderstorms popping up already in parts of northern Oneida County and up in northern Jefferson County with this warm front lifting up. And then we have our cold front we'll have to watch out for this evening. That's what's bringing in very cold air for tomorrow and eventually changing over to some snow showers. So new overnight, we have been upgraded to a level 2 out of 5 on the severe weather risk level. We have a slight risk. The biggest things for us are going to be the gusty winds and the very heavy rainfall. Not really so much the hail, but unfortunately we are not 100% ruling out an isolated tornado. It's not a guarantee whatsoever. The risk is very, very minimal, but I'm just telling you it's not zero and should just be prepared in case any warnings, whether it's a severe thunderstorm warning, a tornado warning, or even a flash flood warning. If any of those do get issued, make sure you have a way of being notified, making sure that all your notifications are ready to go with your apps on your phone, especially that Storm Team app. That's a really, really good tool for you because we could be getting in on things as early as 3 o'clock this evening. We'll be dealing with these rain showers, heavy at times for the evening commute. 5, 6, 7 o'clock tonight. Very heavy rain where we're looking at some isolated flash flooding going on. A lot of some of these smaller streams and creeks could really be getting close to their banks. And then that colder air comes rushing in after sunset tonight. We drop below freezing pretty quickly tonight. We're watching for a lot of this to freeze over overnight too. A couple of hours with some wet slushy snow. Lake effect because we're only in the 20s tomorrow. It feels like temperatures single digits throughout the day tomorrow with our lake effect pretty heavy and steady at times right in central Oswego County and through the Tug Hill Plateau. Meanwhile, the rest of us, we are cloudy, we are windy, and we are cold for your St. Patrick's Day for tomorrow. So you'll be doing a couple of jigs to stay warm tomorrow. So rainfall. This is a healthy amount here. A little too much, actually, but we will have to be very, very mindful of this. Upwards of 1 to 2, possibly up to 3 inches of rainfall this evening. And then we transition over to snow. Could pick up at least a couple of inches of snowfall, as much as 4 to 6 inches of snow through tomorrow morning. An additional 3 to 6 inches of snow for parts of Oswego County and the Tug Hill during the day tomorrow. Snow showers will taper off Wednesday morning. Thursday, new system with a bit of a rain-snow mix. Friday's pretty quiet, though, for the first day of spring, mostly cloudy. And then a wintry mix this weekend. When's the Syracuse half? Sunday?
Oh, yeah, I'm not running it this year, though. It was a cold winter.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't get the runs that I needed to.
You're not ready yet.
I feel
I'll be
ya.
calling an Uber halfway through. Say, help me out.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I've been watching too many